So Mark Zuckerberg just did what looked like a hostage video announcing his new plans for Meta, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and I guess WhatsApp, going into this next administration. Remember, this is the same Mark Zuckerberg who traveled down to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump and, like all the other billionaires, kissed the ring. And he gave him $1 million for his inauguration fund with the rest of them, which, to be clear, goes to nothing specific, so is therefore just a bribe to the man himself and a way to curry favor with the autocrat in waiting. Now, these super, super rich guys that are lining up are the people that shouldn't be able to be bought. The people who are so rich and so powerful that they should be standing up for what's right because their lives will never be negatively affected by any terrible Trump policy. And yet these captains of industry are the very first to roll over in the hopes of becoming the robber baron. In Mark's video, he says,
"Here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed, so we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more."
So Meta will be getting rid of fact-checking, adopting Elon Musk's X community notes, where users themselves have to fact-check. And they're going to be moving their content moderation team from California to Texas, because we can only assume Mark wants to take advantage of Texas's more corporate-friendly legal protections, their lower taxes, and he doesn't particularly care about Bibles being jammed into schools or women not having control over their own bodies. And while Meta actively silenced political content prior to the election, Mark now claims he wants to re-engage in civics content. So silence politics when Democrats are in office, but make it widely available but fact-free when Trump comes back into power. Just a safe space for anger, hate, bigotry, homophobia, sexism, lies, exactly what our divided country does not need. Now, I want to be incredibly clear that this is not normal. That we are entering an authoritarian society where the government will tell us what's true, and the news channels and social media feeds will amplify it whether it is true or not. We have never experienced anything like this in America, and it's really not going to work out very well for us. We were warned that this would happen, but sadly most people didn't believe it would, or they really didn't care. We have to remember that Meta is the primary news source for millions of Americans and billions of users around the world. And billionaires like Mark and Elon are literally creating an alternative reality that the rest of us have to live in. Social media will become a key propaganda tool for the new administration, much like Fox News already is, or say RT is in Russia. So we the people have to make a choice. If social media is a tool, is it a tool we want to use? These online communities were supposed to make us more informed and connected, but they're now going to make us less informed and more divided because they've been deeply corrupted by power and greed. So American society and humanity in general finds itself at a crossroads because these social media owners who are pitching free speech but don't really care about free speech, because facts will always be facts whether they're checked or unchecked, and the truth will always be the truth whether we like it or not. So we have to decide if we want to just continue to blindly support these organizations who lie to us to serve themselves. Misinformation appears to have won this war. The question is, what do we want to do about it for the future? According to many experts, one of the best things we can do is starve Meta for revenue the way we've been doing with X. Never click or buy anything through their ads. Never pay for an ad to sell a product or advertise an event on their platform. Annoyingly, these platforms often make money off our personal data even if we don't click on any ads, because just seeing the ad is enough if advertisers are paying to target them at you. This applies to WhatsApp, Instagram, Threads, as well as Facebook. Even people without Meta accounts can be profiled. Now, you can set your Apple device to the highest security setting or use antivirus software. You can switch to open source Signal instead of WhatsApp, and you can recruit your friends and family to say Blue Sky for now. If you can't deactivate, delete, or leave these cesspool sites, which I know is far easier said than done, then we can engage less, as engagement adds value to the company. We shouldn't continue to blindly support these manipulators who have no standards and no morals. Now, with all that in mind, I say this as a social media creator, someone who attempts to reach people with truth through these sites every day. So if you have a moment, I'm going to ask you to consider taking the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel or to my premium channel through the Politics Girl website. Because I don't know what the future holds, but I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to stay on these social media sites or how long I'll want to continue to be part of the problem. I know we need trusted sources in the future, and we need to support those trusted sources more than ever, because it's going to become more and more difficult to discern truth from lies. But maybe we need to do it through our private emails and not through public social media sites. So please go and check politicsgirl.com and sign up for premium or follow me on YouTube to continue to have access to my work. The future is going to be a mess, and I think we need to really support the people who are trying to make sense of the chaos.